Hi guys, today I thought that I bring you a video from a different place. This video is a continuous version of my previous video, which was about 8 types of women in the world. So number 1, Korean, Japanese, Philippines, Chinese and Thai and these kind of men. These men, you see that mostly they are short in height. They are very confined into their culture, but at the same time they are very open to Western culture. They have very open mind mentality. They're not very sexually famous. They're not very famous that they to give you pleasure. And women, from my experience, I have spoken to many women. They do not see, because they don't see any kind of attractiveness into them. So they are very good. If you want a husband who always listen to you and who will live his life under your influence, it's not a bad choice for you. Next to South Asian men, which include Indian, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, as well as Sri Lanka. So these kind of areas, there are big differences in them. One of the difference you see that Indian men are, you see, they have a very dark complexion, and also Sri Lanka and Bangladesh as well, and they are not very big build as well. Just for information, there is very famous condom brand. So that condom brand has to cut down the length of the condom as well, because it was been uproad that the condom size is too big for Indian men. So I'm just giving you an idea about it. If you're looking for pleasure, it is all about pleasure. If you're looking for pleasure, then that's not your favorite destination. But at the same time, if you're looking for someone who is high-tech, workaholic, family person, then Indian man is your best choice. On the other hand, Pakistani man, they have this cultural kind of influence in them, and the religion played very important role in their life, and Afghanistan as well. But what difference with Pakistani man and Indian and Afghanistan is, they are kind of an in-between version. Pakistani man, they are very famous for being funny, and a few years back, Pakistani man, they came third in the most favorable man in United States, where they surveyed about 100,000 women. So because they are famous for being funny, because they'll make you laugh. Iranian man, they are not very popular outside Iran. Now I will talk about the third option, the Middle Eastern man. The Middle Eastern men, they are very famous of high spender. They spend and they lavishly spend on you. At the same time, they have some kind of fear as well, that they have a lot of wives or something, and they only are with you for fun, but they only marry to their wife who stay at home and make a lot of kids. But at the same time, they marry to Western women. They spend a lot of money on them, and just for a fun sake. But at the same time, not all the Middle Eastern men are like this, because what we're talking about, those Middle Eastern men, what you have this vision in you, what you always see on the TV, they are mostly belong to UAE, Saudi, who are very rich. Apart from that, normal Middle Eastern men from a normal class, they only marry once. But they are also very cultured as well, but they have this open mind mentality. So I would suggest that the Middle Eastern man is not a bad choice, but at the same time, they are also very dedicated to their religion. If you want someone who have a lot of money, at the same time, you will not mind that he has a wife at home, but he'll give you all the luxury in your life, then this is your good pick. Now to Africa. So Africa, I will divide Africa into two. One Africa is Central Africa to South Africa, which include the East and West Africa as well, and the other part is Northern Africa. In Africa, I will also include Jamaica and Caribbean island as well. And you know, the African man, they are very famous for one thing. I will very open about it. They're very famous, so sexually satisfy you in the bed. That I know many Western women, they really are into African man. They will really give them the time of their life in the bed, but only in the bed. When the life start outside the bed, then you know that they are very famous. Then they will not even care about it. They will make kids with you, but after that they're not very famous to being responsible. In family life, as almost there's no existence in the most. I'm talking about what I have seen, but it's a perception about it. They're not very good family man. But if you only want to have fun in the bed, then African man is not a bad choice, and media giving them a lot of exposure as well at the same time. There is a North African man, which include Egyptian, Tunisian, and Libya as well, Morocco. And they are very close-minded people. So I would, what I have heard, the perception about it, they are not very good choice. They came across very open-minded, but at the same time they have very backward mind of mentality as well. But at the same time they have this European touch. So if you're looking for someone who is very open at the same time, but they're not very famous for to have very prolonged and very responsible kind of a man. but they have this manly look as well. So they look very good. They came across very modern. When you speak to them, you think, oh, you find the right choice, but at the same time, down the line, you'll be very disappointed. This is my perception. This is what I have spoken to many people, and this is kind of experience I got from different people. Now come back to Eastern European and Russian men. They are famous for being a drunk. They also, there's a perception about it. They have kind of influence on their women. They beat them up as well. That's why if you see the Eastern European Russian women, they have this kind of tendency that they mostly marry to Western men or men outside of their culture, outside their country, because they are looking for someone because you know that Eastern European and Russian women, they are famous for very beautiful, but they need someone who really take care of them as well, who really admire them. But Russian and Eastern European men, they are not very famous to admire them. So and all the women, I won't say that all the women, but most of the human beings, they need some kind of admiration, especially women. So, but those men, they're not very famous to admire you. So those men, they're not very famous to admire their women. So that's why whenever you meet any Russian or Eastern European man, but I'm not talking for all of them, there are many good men out there as well. So I would say that whoever you meet, you need to make sure that what that person wants, what that person's value is. But now we come back to European, which include West Europe, Scandinavia, United Kingdom, America and Canada. These men, they are very famous to have, they are very cultured. And they are kind of very famous. They really look after their wife. They open the door for them, and they know that, and they have this kind of thing where they are under the influence of their women. Which kind of perception we have? We see that every day, that how many women from outside Europe and outside Western, they really see that how these men, they look after their women, and they also see that they only marry one woman. They do not marry only one woman because they want to, because this is the law there. But at the same time, they are very famous to have fucking around here and there, and they have to, and cheating is very common in that kind of society, because this is the only way they can get away from not marrying more than one woman. But at the same time, if you find the right person in Western Europe, America, Canada, then that's not a bad choice. But because if they really love you, they really take care of you. But they are very good to amicably leaving you as well. This is very kind of a fancy word they will use. They will say, okay, we will stay as a friend, but at the same time, we cannot live together under one roof. This is kind of bullshit they come up, and you have to accept it. For them, sexual satisfaction is very important. They feel that their connection is not there, they will not give a second thought to leave you. So I will leave up to you to make your own choice. Now finally, I'll come back to South American men. South American men, you know, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, and these countries, Peru and Mexico. These men, they're very famous for brutally beating their women, and their women are really scared of them. But at the same time, they are very possessive as well towards their women. They think that woman is kind of a thing. If you control them, then they function very well. This is kind of mentality they have. That woman is very good when you control them. When you do not control them, their function, it's kind of a virus. They go into them, and they're out of control. So a very famous character of the Pablo Escobar as well. You must have seen that, how he was abusively hitting the women as well. But at the same time, they are very attractive, and they're very famous Hollywood actors as well. They have this muscular look. They have European and South American look as well. And then Western women, they really admired that look. This olive skin as well, which North African man has the same thing, and many of the Lebanese, or many of the Middle Eastern men has as well. But at the same time, their mentality is how I can differentiate them from other men as well, because they're very open. They have very open Western culture. So that's what South American men are, but they are very good South American men as well. The purpose of this whole video to give you the idea as well, whoever you're dating, it will give you an idea what kind of man you are dating, give you a kind of flavor from the cultural background and how they brought up and what they expect from a woman. So I hope that you will like this video, and thank you very much.